Hello everyone, Luke Smith here. This Sunday the 8th of January 2023, let's do a small review on the show that I've watched recently. I finished it about a couple of weeks ago. I finished it, Chucky Season 2. So let's talk about it. This is going to be a little bit of a short review. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So it basically stars the three kids as before, Jake, Devon and Lexi, and it's not like in multiple locations now. This is like more or less in like one location, which makes it a bit interesting. So basically Chucky decides to kill again and gets them blamed for it, sending them off to some like Catholic mental institution place that is basically, to me it looks like a cultist centre, really. You know what these Catholics are like. And they're basically there, and guess what, all the Chuckies at the in the truck, and they're back. And slowly, like, to be fair, I thought it was going to be like the entire lot swarms this place, but kind of a letdown. But by the end of it, really, did have some interesting moments. Did have some good moments of it. Decent kills, but not as graphic as the first one. I believe it wasn't as bad as the it wasn't as like gruesome as the first series. You had some like interesting looking Chuckies. Like you had like buff Chucky and like bald Chucky, who was like a Russian with like a Russian blade. And it's like, really, it's like this weird thing that they got you doing. Tiffany the doll was in this one, which was good. I like to see returning characters in new series and new films. And you also got to see Glenn and Glenda in human form, because one thing that I forgot that happened in the Seed of Chucky is Glenn was put in the body of a child. You don't actually see that happening, but you actually see the actual child who was him. And now it looks like, because he's a gender fluid now, I think what they did is they split his soul and put it into like two extra people. So there's like one Glenn, which is like a male version, and one Glenda, and they're like not non-binary characters, which is an interesting little trope that they did. To be fair, I quite found them characters to be entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, it's like pretty cool to actually see something like that. You do get to see Jennifer Tilly's real sister in it as well. So to be fair, I had to look it up on like Google to see if she was her real sister. Turns out she was, and she was in like a few films and that. So yeah, there's a lot of like fourth wall breaks and that sort of thing. Now, like I said, because it's like contained into one's into one area for the most part anyway, for like the most majority of the series, I feel like it wasn't as good as the first series in that respect. You got to see Andy in it, which was good. I like to see him returning, because he's been in the entire franchise from day one. I mean, I know there was like some films that he wasn't in, but he's been in a majority of films. The actual character, not the actor. You didn't really get to see Charles Lee Ray's backstory as much, or as at all, in this one, which was a shame, because they could have like added a bit more of that into it, like expand on his backstory, give us more lore, because we do love a bit of lore. So yeah, I quite found it quite interesting. Like I said, it's not as good as the first series. Will there be a third series? Don't know. I mean, I was a bit late to the party of watching this series because, yes, it got released in October, but for some reason I couldn't get it on my Sky Q box, so I had to wait about a month or so to actually get to see it, because I actually watched it in December. I watched one episode a day. And there was like 8 episodes in this series, and I believe there was 8 or 9 episodes in the last series as well. So yeah, I was a bit late to the party seeing it. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here, and give me your thoughts on what you thought of the series in the comments below. Like to read them. If you want a like and subscribe, really appreciate it. And also my support links are up there if you want to support the channel. Next week I'll have some vlogs, some reviews, and some bits and pieces. See what I can do. So I will see you next week.